Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chawadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom. Okay, so I want to get into a lesson starting off in Ezekiel, the 9th chapter and the 4th verse. So Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson to the elect. So I'll go ahead and I'll get straight into it. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, and the him is speaking about the angel. Okay, continuing on. Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. That's right. It says go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. Okay, and we understand that we're a people before a place. Okay, so we know this is speaking about the nation of Israel. Okay, continuing on. And set a mark. That's right. It says, and set a mark. Okay, and we go into that word mark in the Hebrew. It's the wa, which means exempt from judgment. Okay, continuing on. And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. That's right. So we understand this mark that it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is the wa in the Hebrew, which means exempt from judgment, will be placed upon the elect. Okay, of the nation of Israel, man. Okay, who are the ones that's truly sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof? The elect, Lord willing, we be a part of that number. We call ourselves the hopeful elect. Okay, we are the ones that's truly sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, man. Okay, every day we get up in this place, it's extremely vexing, man. Okay, seeing our enemies are still ruling over us. Okay, seeing these Edomites are still in rulership, ruling in complete wickedness, man. Okay, just look around, man. You see that the water is polluted. Okay, you see that the air is polluted. Okay, you see that the wicked philosophies of this damn devil is being spread throughout the earth. Okay, look at the condition that our people are in, following the ways of these heathens, man. Okay, you see that we got GMOs here, man. Okay, we understand that this place is extremely vexing, man. Okay, so we understand that the men of the Lord, the elect, are the ones that's truly sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay, constantly asking the Lord, how long? Okay, waiting for the Lord to destroy this place, man. Okay, so I'll continue on. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 5. And to the others, he said, in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. That's right. So we understand that the angels, they're going to get busy on the ones of you that don't have that mark that it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is the wa in the Hebrew, which means exempt from judgment. Okay, so we understand that, man, a lot of you are going to be left out here to get destroyed, man. Okay, the ones of you that don't have that mark. Okay, so I'll continue on. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. That's right. So it doesn't matter if you're old, you're young, you're a child. Okay, if you don't have that mark that it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is the wa in the Hebrew, which means exempt from judgment, you're going to get destroyed out here, man. Okay, that's what's going to happen to you, man. Okay, the scripture goes into it, you know, about what was that in Job, the 4th chapter and 7th verse? I want to say about whoever perish being innocent. Okay, so we understand, man, you people, you are innocent out here, man. Okay, you wicked individuals. Okay, so I'll continue on. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. That's right. So we understand that the elect that's going to have that mark that it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is the wa in the Hebrew, which means exempt from judgment. We understand that they're going to be protected, man. Okay, the scripture goes into it in Psalms chapter 34 and verse 7 about how the angel of the Lord encampeth round about him that fear him and delivered them. Okay, so we understand that the elect, they're going to be protected and ultimately delivered, man. Okay, so let me go back to it. Let me read this again. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 5. Slaki, verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. Like I just mentioned, the elect that's going to have that mark that it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is the wine in Hebrew, which means exempt from judgment. They're going to be protected out here, man. Okay, continuing on. And begin at my sanctuary, then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. That's right. And we understand that judgment will begin with us, man. So let me get what else I had. I'm going to go to 1 Peter, the 4th chapter. Okay. And I'm going to start at the 17th verse. Okay. This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. That's right. So we understand that judgment will begin with us, man. Okay. Judgment will begin with the ones of you that know that you're Israelites, the ones of the circumcision, man. Okay. That's why it's extremely important for you to teach the correct doctrine, man. Okay. So I'll read this from the top again, man. This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. That's right. So we understand that judgment is going to begin with us, man. Okay, the ones of you that know that you're Israelites, the ones of the circumcision. Okay, continuing on. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? That's right. So we know the ones of you that's not obeying the gospel of the Most High, we know that you're certainly going to get destroyed. So let me get a quick precept. This is one of my favorite scriptures in Proverbs, the 13th chapter. And I'm going to go to the 13th verse. Okay. And I'll start at the top. This is Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed. And we understand that when you despise something, you look down upon it, you hate it, man. Okay, you look at it as if it's insignificant, man. Okay, and we know that 2/3 of our people, they despise the words of the Lord. Okay, so we understand that they're going to get destroyed, man. Okay, that's what's going to happen. So I read this from the top again. This is Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. That's right. It says, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Okay. And we know the ones that truly fear the commandment are the elect. Okay. We know that the elect will be rewarded. Okay. We know that the elect will be protected and ultimately delivered up out of this place when the Lord returned with innumerable amount of angels and the chariots with him, man. Okay. So let me get what else I had. All right. Just to show you, man, that this place isn't our rest, man. So let me go to Hebrews, the 13th chapter, and I'll start the 14th verse. This is Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 14. For here have we no continuing city. That's right. It says, for here have we no continuing city. Okay, so we don't have a continuing city here, man. We don't have a place that all our people can go here and call home, man. Okay, when you look at the land of Israel right now, man, you see that land is getting hit with missiles, man. Okay, you see that there's war currently in that land, man. Okay, you see the tensions that's going on between Israel, the U.S., and Iran. Okay, we're seeing this going on right now, man. So we understand that we don't have a continuing city here, man. All right. Continuing on, but we seek one to come. That's right. It says, but we seek one to come. Okay. And what is it that we're seeking to come? The kingdom of heaven, man. Okay. That's what we're seeking to come, man. And we understand that we're going to have these nations in captivity, man. Okay. So I'll go ahead. I'm going to get what else I had. Okay. I'll get this in Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, and I'll start the 16th verse. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And when you understand that all these nations had a hand in devouring the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, so all you nations had a hand in devouring our people, but we understand that y'all will be devoured. Okay, continuing on. And all thine adversaries. And we know that all you nations are our adversaries, man. Okay, starting with you Edomites, man, being our top adversaries. Okay, continuing on. Every one of them shall go into captivity. That's right. It says every one of them shall go into captivity. So we understand that all you nations will go into captivity under rest, man. Okay, it's not anything that you can do to stop it, and it's not anything that you can do to prevent it from happening. We understand that it's already written, it's prophecy for you nations to go into captivity, man. Okay, continuing on. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. And all you nations had a hand in spoiling the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, man. All y'all played a part in spoiling our people, man. Okay? But we understand that y'all are going to be spoiled, man. Okay, continuing on. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. And all you nations preyed upon our people, man. Y'all are still preying upon our people, but y'all are going to be given for a prey, man. Okay, and we understand that we're going to rule over you nations in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, we're going to have y'all in captivity, man. Okay. And it's not anything that y'all can do about it, man. Okay, it's prophecy. It's going to happen, man. All right. So with that said, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the elect. And I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.